As you can see, the camera itself is extremely tiny, but its capabilities are quite amazing because the video and picture quality on this is outstanding. The camera is not waterproof because there are quite a bit of open and exposed sockets and gaps in here. What makes it actually waterproof is the housing that goes along with this. So this is the housing, and it's a solid polycarbonate housing with buttons on it which have extensions inside the casing, which helps press the actual buttons on the camera. The camera doesn't have any mounting options as well. It's just the case that has the mounting option, because these joints over here fit onto elbows that come along with the camera, such as this one, and these fit into your helmet or your dashboard or wherever you want to mount it. This is a spare battery I purchased from eBay. This has more capacity as well. It's a 1680 milliampere hour battery. The battery that comes with the camera is just 1180 milliampere hour. It has this lid which comes off. I wish it was attached in some way, because there is a high chance of me losing this lid. There's a micro SD card slot here. I have a 32 gig card in there. There's a micro HDMI port here to connect it to your TV or your monitor, and there is a mini USB port here. This can be used for charging the device itself. And on the back you have the battery slot, so it's quite a work to get the battery lid off sometimes. And this is the original battery that comes with it, and as you can see, it's 1180 milliampere hours. You pull the tab to lift the battery off, and this is all the camera is without the battery. Let's get into the details of the camera. So going on to the first item on the menu, it's the video recording menu. The camera is capable of recording 4K videos at 12 frames per second if they are wide angle, and if they're not wide angle, then it can record at 15 frames per second. It's capable of recording at 2.7K. If it's wide angle, it's 24 frames per second. If it's not wide angle, it's 30 frames per second. You can record at 1440p, at 24, 30 and 40 frames per second. At 1080p wide angle or normal, it records at 24, 30, 48 and 60 frames per second. At 960p, it records at 48, 60 and 100 frames per second. It also has HD recording. So HD wide angle, it records at 48, 60 or 100 frames per second. At HD 720p normal recording, it records at 60 and 120 frames per second. So this you can use for some slow motion videos that you might want to take. It also has the WVGA mode at 240 frames per second, but I see no reason for anyone to use this mode. So going on to the next item on the menu, it's the photo mode. So it can record at 12 or 7 megapixels in wide angle, or 7 and 5 megapixels at medium angle. So the next item on the menu is the burst mode. Personally, I don't use this mode too much. I'll just put the number of photographs you can take per second on the side over here. You can have a look. So the next mode is the time-lapse mode. I find myself using this quite a bit. What this is, it takes photographs at regular intervals, and you can stitch it all into a video using the software that's provided by GoPro. You have the options of recording one photograph every 0.5 seconds up to one photograph every minute. So there are quite a bit of range of intervals that you can set when using the time-lapse feature. So moving on to the next one is the settings menu. So once you see the item on the menu, clicking on the top selects it. This gives me details about the video settings. So it's currently set at 1080p, 30 frames per second wide angle. So if I select this, you can see that there are more options available there. Selecting this gives me all the resolutions that I spoke to you about. I'd prefer 1080p because the size of the videos are very optimal for me to play on my TV or upload to YouTube. This is the camera settings mode, so you can adjust it from about 12 megapixel to 5 megapixel, same details that I mentioned to you earlier. And this is the number of photos you want to take every time the shutter button is clicked. So that's a setting that's available. This is the burst feature I spoke to you about. This is the time lapse. This is the capture set. So the last item on the settings menu is the wireless controller. So GoPro comes with Wi-Fi as well. So you have the option of using this button on the side here to turn on Wi-Fi, or you can come straight to the menu settings over here. The button is just a shortcut to get here. So when you turn on the Wi-Fi on the device, it creates a hotspot. So you have the option of connecting to it from your phone, or you have the option of connecting it to the remote that it comes with. So the remote is capable of connecting to up to 50 GoPro devices. It has a range of about 60 meters, and the way you connect is go to the settings, you select on Wi-Fi RC, which is the Wi-Fi remote control, set on new, and it turns on Wi-Fi. You know that when the blue light starts blinking, and you turn this device on, which is the remote, it shows the battery percentage, and there you go, it's connected. The remote is pretty much similar to the device itself. It too has just two buttons on it, and similar to the device, the mode button is used to select between modes, and the shutter button is used for recording or making the option selected. So you can see I can control everything that I could control with the camera itself from the remote. And currently I'm on the photo mode, and clicking the shutter button takes a photo. So everything that you can do on the camera can be done from the remote as well. The only beef I have with this remote is the charging slot for it is not mini USB like the camera itself. It has this tag that comes with it so that you can wrap it onto your wrist or something. Charging port for it is proprietary by GoPro, so it comes with a charging cable. So if you lose this, you'll have to get one from GoPro, because mini USB or micro USB is not going to work on this. So it fits into the remote this way, and you can use your USB port on your computer to charge this. So anyways, that's my review about the GoPro Hero 3 Plus. I'll post some sample photos and videos if you want to look at it. Until the next one, take care.